A bullet travels at 2,600 feet per second. At that speed, the sound arrives after the damage. You will never hear the shot that's meant for you. But you're not the target. The man standing 3 feet to your left is. He is the President of the United States, and you have 4/10 of a second to put your body between him and the bullet. That's not a metaphor. That's the job description. Right now, this moment is frozen. The bullet is in the air. We'll come back to it. But first, you need to understand how you got here. And it starts in a place you'd never expect. Rank 1, the Counterfeiter Hunter. The Secret Service was not created to protect the president. It was created to protect money. In 1865, 1/3 of all American currency was fake. Abraham Lincoln signed the Secret Service into existence. That night, he went to Ford's Theater. He was assassinated. The agency he created that morning had no protection mission. It took 36 more years and 2 more dead presidents before Congress changed that. But counterfeiting is still half the job. Most people don't know that. You are 25 years old. You have a criminal justice degree. You apply online. The application looks normal until it doesn't. It asks about every country you've visited, every debt you carry, every person you've dated in the last 10 years, every time you've been arrested, sued, or investigated. The polygraph is full-scope lifestyle. They ask about things you've never told anyone. The background investigation takes over a year. Agents show up at your childhood neighbor's house. They interview your high school gym teacher. They find the parking ticket you forgot about in 2019. They find everything. You pass. You report to the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Glencoe, Georgia. 12 weeks of basic training. Then you transfer to the James J. Rowley Training Center in Maryland. 500 acres of classified training grounds. 60 firing range lanes. A mock presidential helicopter. The front section of a presidential jet. And 6 miles of private roads where you will learn to drive like you've never driven before. You spend your first 2 years investigating financial crimes, credit card fraud, wire scams, counterfeit currency operations. You raid a print shop in New Jersey at 6 in the morning. Inside, you find $2 million in fake 20s. The printer is a 70-year-old man with a magnifying glass. He's been counterfeiting for 40 years. He cries when you handcuff him. You feel terrible. You do your job anyway. This is not what you imagined when you joined. You imagined standing next to the president. You imagined dark suits and earpieces. Instead, you're standing in a basement in New Jersey with a crying old man and 2 million fake dollars. But this is where every agent starts. Every single one. Remember the bullet. It's still in the air. We'll come back. Rank 2, the Advance Agent. After 2 years of financial crimes, you get your first protection assignment. You are not protecting the president. You are protecting a visiting foreign dignitary. The Belgian Prime Minister is in Washington for 3 days. Your job is to advance the visit. Advance means you arrive before the protectee. You inspect every location they will visit, every hotel room, every conference hall, every restaurant. You walk the routes. You count the exits. You identify the rooftops with sightlines. You plan evacuation routes for 12 different emergency scenarios: fire, medical emergency, active shooter, bomb threat, chemical attack, crowd surge, vehicle assault, drone, earthquake, power failure, protest, and the one nobody says out loud. You memorize the nearest hospital. You memorize the trauma center. You know the blood type of the person you're protecting. You know which operating room is on standby. The Belgian Prime Minister arrives. His 3-day visit goes perfectly. Nothing happens. That's the point. When your job goes right, nobody notices. You are invisible. Success is a headline that doesn't exist. Rank 3, the Detail Agent. You're 29, you've been assigned to a permanent protective detail. Not the president, not yet. You're protecting the Secretary of the Treasury. You stand outside his house at 4 in the morning. It's February. It's 17 degrees. You're wearing a suit with a bulletproof vest underneath. The vest weighs 4 pounds. After 12 hours, it feels like 40. You rotate positions every 30 minutes. Front door, back door, car, perimeter. Your earpiece crackles constantly. Shift change, vehicle approaching, package delivery, neighbor walking a dog. Everything is communicated. Everything is logged. You drive the secretary to work. You stand outside his office. You drive him home. You stand outside his house. You do this 6 days a week. Some days, nothing happens for 14 hours. Then, everything happens in 3 seconds. A man approaches the secretary's car at a traffic light. He reaches into his jacket. You are out of the vehicle before your brain finishes processing what's happening. Your hand is on your weapon. The man pulls out a cell phone. He wants a photo. You lower your hand. Your heart is beating 200 times a minute. The secretary didn't notice. He was reading email on his phone. He never noticed. You get back in the car. You don't mention it. Remember the bullet. Still in the air. Getting closer. Rank 4. The PPD. Presidential Protective Division. The 3 letters every Secret Service agent spends their career trying to reach. PPD. You've been selected. You are one of approximately 200 agents assigned to protect the president. Some guard the White House perimeter. Some work counter-surveillance. Some manage logistics. You are on the inner ring, the shift that walks beside the president, close enough to hear him breathe. Your first day on the detail, you stand in the Oval Office. The president walks in. He nods at you. You don't nod back. You don't make eye contact. You scan the room. That's your job, not to look at him, to look at everything else. You study crowds the way a radiologist studies x-rays. You look for anomalies, a person standing still in a moving crowd, a coat that's too heavy for the weather, hands that aren't visible, eyes that don't track the president but track you. You are trained to notice what doesn't belong. Your brain runs a threat assessment on every single person within 100 yards, continuously, for 12 hours straight. The president travels. You travel first. Every city, every venue, every motorcade route is planned weeks in advance. You know the width of every doorway the president will walk through. You know the load capacity of every elevator he'll ride. You know the name of every police officer on the route. Every manhole cover is welded shut before the motorcade passes. Every mailbox is removed or searched. Every window along the route is mapped and assigned to a counter-sniper team. At the training center in Maryland, there is a mock presidential limousine. You practice the drill over and over. Shots fired. Cover the president. Your body becomes the shield. One agent pushes his head down. One covers his torso. One covers the door. One scans for the second shooter, because there is always a possibility of a second shooter. You do this drill 1,000 times, until the movement is not a decision. It is a reflex. The bullet is still in the air. Almost there. Rank 5. The Counter-Assault. CAT. Counter-Assault Team. The Secret Service's tactical unit. If the detail agents are the shield, CAT is the sword. You volunteered. The selection course lasted 2 weeks. It eliminated half the candidates. You passed. You no longer wear a suit. You wear black tactical gear. Rifle, sidearm, body armor, helmet. You ride in a black Suburban in the motorcade. The doors are unlocked at all times. If shots are fired, the detail covers the president. You engage the threat. That's the difference. The detail runs away from the gunfire. You run toward it. You train at the rally center. Live fire exercises in urban environments. Room clearing, vehicle assaults, helicopter operations. You train with military special operations. The Marines, the Army, the Navy, they respect you. You respect them. The difference is handcuffs. They eliminate threats. You eliminate threats and then arrest what's left. Sometimes there's nothing left to arrest. You deploy overseas with the president. In every foreign country, your team is the last line. Local police control the outer ring. The host country's security handles the middle ring. You handle everything within 50 feet of the president. 50 feet. That's your world. Everything outside of it is someone else's problem. Everything inside of it is yours. Rank 6. The Counter-Sniper. You lie on the roof of the White House. Not metaphorically, literally. You are on the roof with a .300 Winchester Magnum bolt-action rifle. You have been lying here for 4 hours. You will lie here for 4 more. You scan the windows of every building within 1,000 yards. You know the distance to every rooftop, every water tower, every parking garage. You have them memorized. You know the wind speed. You know the temperature. You know how both affect a bullet at 700 yards. You adjust your scope. During presidential outdoor events, you are positioned on elevated structures around the venue. You watch the crowd through your scope. You are looking for rifles, not faces. You are looking for muzzle flashes. You are looking for the glint of glass that might be a scope. If you see a weapon pointed at the president, you do not wait for authorization. You fire. The decision is yours alone. That weight never leaves you. Now, the bullet. Rank 7. The moment. It is a Tuesday afternoon. The president is speaking at an outdoor event. 3,000 people in the audience. You are on the detail, standing 4 feet behind his right shoulder. Your earpiece is quiet. The counter-snipers report all clear. The counter-assault team is staged 200 yards away. The advance team cleared this venue 3 weeks ago. Everything is in order. Then it isn't. A crack splits the air. Not thunder, not a car backfiring. A rifle. You know the difference because you've trained to know the difference. The bullet is traveling at 2,600 feet per second. You have 4/10 of a second. Your body moves before your brain gives the order. You step left. You put yourself between the sound and the president. One hand goes to his head. One hand pushes his body down. You are covering him with your own torso. You feel 3 other agents collapsing around you. 4 bodies become a wall of flesh and Kevlar. The president is underneath you. He is alive. Counter-snipers return fire. You hear 2 sharp cracks from the rooftop behind you. The threat is neutralized. The CAT team is sprinting toward the source. The motorcade is already moving. The limousine door opens. You push the president inside. You climb in after him. The door closes. The vehicle accelerates to 60 in 4 seconds. The hospital is 11 minutes away. The president is not injured. The bullet missed. It missed because you were standing where it would have landed. The entire event lasted 9 seconds. You will replay those 9 seconds for the rest of your life. Rank 8. The Supervisor. You're 41. You've been promoted to the special agent in charge of a field office. You don't stand next to presidents anymore. You manage the agents who do. Your phone rings at 3 in the morning. A threat has been posted online against the president. Your team traces it to a house in the suburbs. By 6 a.m., 3 agents are knocking on the door. The man who posted the threat is 19 years old. He lives in his parents' basement. He thought it was a joke. It is not a joke. You arrest him. His mother screams. His father asks for a lawyer. The kid is crying. He faces up to 5 years in federal prison for threatening the president. You process the paperwork. You go back to bed. You can't sleep. You manage 212 cases a year. Counterfeiting, financial fraud, cybercrime, and threats. The threats are the hardest. Most are nothing. Angry people typing angry words. But 1 in 10,000 is real. Your job is to find the one. Rank 9. The Director's Office. You've risen to the top. You report directly to the Secretary of Homeland Security. You brief the president you once protected with your body. He recognizes you. He shakes your hand. He thanks you for what happened that Tuesday afternoon. You tell him you were doing your job. He says most people's jobs don't involve stepping in front of a bullet. He's right. You oversee 7,000 employees, 3,000 special agents, 1,300 uniformed officers, 2,000 technical and support staff. The annual budget is $3 billion. Every presidential movement, every foreign visit, every national event runs through your office. The hardest part is not the operations, it's the funerals. An agent died in a motorcade accident in Dallas. Another had a heart attack on the White House lawn at age 39. Another took his own life after 15 years of 12-hour shifts and missed birthdays. You speak at their funerals. You look their families in the eyes. You promise to take care of their children's education. You keep that promise. Rank 10. The Retired Agent. You retired on a Friday. The ceremony was in a conference room at headquarters. They gave you a plaque and a flag. The director said kind words. You said thank you. You drove home. It's been 8 months. You sit on your porch in Virginia. You read the paper. When you see a photo of the president at an outdoor event, your eyes don't go to him. They go to the rooftops. They go to the crowd. They go to the hands. You count the exits of every restaurant you enter. You sit with your back to the wall. You notice the man at the next table reaching into his jacket. He pulls out reading glasses. You exhale. You will do this for the rest of your life. Your daughter is 12. She asked you once what you did at work. You told her you helped keep people safe. She asked if it was dangerous. You said, not really. She doesn't know about the Tuesday afternoon. She doesn't know about the bullet. She doesn't know that her father stood still while something moving at 2,600 feet per second passed through the space where the president's head had been 1 second earlier. She doesn't know, and you want to keep it that way. Somewhere right now, in a training center in Maryland, an agent is practicing the drill. Shots fired, cover the president. She steps left. She puts her body where the bullet will be. She does this 1,000 times, until it stops being a decision and becomes a reflex. Because you don't hear the shot that's meant for you, but you can be standing in the right place when it arrives.